Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And we are at day 2 of the New York Knicks training camp. And we got some stuff to unpack here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. If you're on Sportscaster, make sure you follow me. And I do have a small announcement. Starting right now, you can go on Spotify. So if you miss me live and you just want to ride to it on your way to work, on your way home from work, or whatever it is, or you're at work and you can have some headphones in, but you can't really watch it on YouTube, then you can check it out on Spotify. All right, so go ahead and check that out. A lot of stuff to unravel today. A lot of stuff that I heard that, I'm glad that I heard it. Whether or not it's going to be the right way to go about it, we'll see. But Coach Fizdale, detailed the offense a little bit. He kind of, got into a little bit of nitty gritty on the type of offensive system that he might use. He also talked about how he'd like to use Julius Randle. Talked about Alonzo Trier, some goals that he set for Alonzo Trier, and some things that he'd like to see Alonzo Trier to work on. So there's some things to definitely unravel, talk about today. I know most people are talking about Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr., maybe dunking on Mitchell Robinson and those type of things. But I think we have some more, a little bit more thickness to talk about than just Dennis Smith Jr. dunking on Mitchell Robinson, if that really happened. Mitch said that it didn't happen. But anyway, we got some more, we got some substance to talk about today. You know what I mean? And I'm glad to talk about it. We got some guys in the video chat. Nate, we got a new kid. His name is Mike. We got Guillermo. City for Real is in the chat. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and get these guys over here so we can talk a little bit. Also, I just want to shout out you guys for being in the chat with me. Thank you. We got Baxwood Gritty, Emmanuel C, G. Andrezzi, Pedesance, Ricky King, French Knicks Podcasts, Guillermo's in both of them. You know what I mean? But, so that's a good thing. 100K Baby, King Ant G, Nick Tate, Michael Harrison, Edward Stalling, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. Big shout out to all you guys, man. Thank you for joining me tonight. I think we have a pretty good show. We got some stuff, some substance to really get into, some things to talk about. All right. Before we get to that, before we really, get into some things deep, let's say what's up to our guys that's in the video chat. Let them guys say what's up to you. And then we'll start breaking down Coach Fizdale and some of the things he said about the offense. You know what I mean? Because I really do want to get into that. City for Real, I'm going to start with you. What's up, City? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good, Sam.
Good.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm feeling good just because of one thing. I like what Frank said in his interview today, right?
All right.
When they asked him about how did he shut down Kemba or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? The man, this is how we know the guy is a selfless player, because what did he say? He said, he gave a big up to, doing the thing, like working on his defense. But then he gave a shout out to the team. He said, hey, it was a team defense thing. And then he gave a shout out to the other point guard on the team. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respect that. So big up to Frank for doing that. I respect that, and I like his team ethics going into the season. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Sounds good. We definitely going to get into Frank and talk about Frank Ntilikina, and the way that Coach Fizdale sees him coming off of FIBA. His teammates see him coming off of FIBA. The way he feels about himself coming off of FIBA. So we'll definitely get into that. Guillermo, what's going on with you, brother?
Yo, I'm tired as hell, man, but let's get it, man.
Tired? They put you to work today, huh?
Bro, man,
They
like,
put you to work today, huh?
it is painful, man. When quarterlies, I mean, whatever. It's just a lot of work, man. And when you guys like drink mad caffeine and then when you come down off of it, it's like,
That's what I was gonna say, man. Stay away from the Stay away from stay away
man.
from that caffeine. Eat bananas instead. You're not gonna have the same kind of crash, man. When you have caffeine,
you know what
energy
energy drink
drinks,
I
and all that,
use?
you're gonna have a crash, man.
But you know, it's crazy. I can't, for some reason, my body, I can't consume coffee. Like, it does nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
The energy drink I use that works, and that's not like, well, a whole bunch of crap. It's called Celsius. I'm telling y'all,
Okay.
it is the best energy drink out there. It's just that it keeps you up because it has citrulline, which gives you like the nitric oxide pump, and it also has caffeine. So it's like, I've had coworkers who, like, I put them on to like, yo, is this thing is real? But then this one lady was like, yo, I was up till, she drank this in like early afternoon, say like 12 or 1, and she's like, oh yeah, I feel good, blah blah. And then she came back next day, is like, yeah, I gotta drink this at like 8 a.m. because I was literally up till 2 a.m. like not able to sleep. I was just up like, yo, what the hell? So
man,
it is powerful. It's like you turn into, if your body is tired, it turns you into like a zombie where like you want to sleep, but you're just up because you can't sleep.
Wow.
So
well, see,
just be very careful. If you're gonna drink it very early in the morning.
You don't have to worry about it because I don't drink caffeine. Well, I drink some caffeine. You know, I drink tea, right? But I don't drink coffee. I don't drink energy drinks. If I need some energy, I eat a banana. You know what I mean? If I need energy,
also,
you know what I mean? Because
Sim,
that'll give you a boost, man. I don't mess with that stuff, man.
Okay, Sim, Mister, I get up at 11 a.m. I wake up in my nice, beautiful mansion. I get to go to like work at like 1, 2, coach people here and there. Like you have your work life is very flexible, Sim. I gotta wake up at 7 a.m.
I get that. But look, I don't go to sleep until 4 though.
Well, that's also on you, man.
I don't go to sleep until 4 o'clock. Working.
I'm a night person. I would do the same thing too.
Working.
When it's vacation, bro, I don't sleep till the sun comes up. Like I'm a night person, but it is what it is, man. Let's get to this basketball.
We're gonna get to it, man. Let's get to Mike. Mike is new to the chat. You know what I mean? So we'll talk to Mike. Mike, what's going on, brother? How you feeling? Can you hear me? I don't know if you got yourself. Do you have yourself muted? Well, test that out. We'll get you there. Nate, I'm coming to you, Nate. Bring yourself back in, Nate. Looks like Nate went away. Oh, there you go. Nate. Hey, Nate, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sorry.
You know what I'm saying? How come every time when you're done talking, you take your face off, you know what I'm saying? You take your video off. Sometimes that makes me feel like, man, Nate must be doing something he don't want everybody to know about or something like that. I mean, every single time, as soon as you're done talking, boom, you're out of there. At least put a picture up.
No, man.
At least put up an avatar so when you leave out, there's an avatar.
Yeah,
something.
I don't know about tech savvy. I'm on that one, but I was just checking on my fantasy football and all this stuff. So
all right,
sorry.
All right, well, just give us a quick intro, man. We're gonna get into this Fizdale stuff.
Yeah, man. First game is Monday, right? Against the Wizards. First preseason game?
First preseason game is Monday.
Yeah. So first preseason game is Monday. Super excited about that. Man, Fizdale's, I guess the light bulbs kind of went off because he started to give defensive scheme ideas, talking about offensive ideas. So, hey, man, that's more than we heard last year from him. So, like I said, man, hopefully this is a preamble to the season, and hopefully, this is something that will be a pattern going forward, not just salesman talk right now and then just go back to the same stuff when the season starts. So,
yeah.
Sounds good so far.
Okay, all right. Well, look, I'm going to get back to the video chat in a minute, but I want to talk about some of the things that I heard from Coach Fizdale today. And we're going to talk about Frank. Right, we're going to get to Frank. I know there's going to be some people that want to talk about Frank. But before I get to that, I want to talk about some other people and some other things that I heard Coach Fizdale and what he said about, what Coach Fizdale said about what he wants to do with the offense and those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it is important. I want to have some substance, and we're finally getting some substance and a few pieces of substance. So I'm going to start off with that. So we'll jump around the video a little bit. We'll jump around the video just a little bit. All right. So the first thing that I want you to hear is how he plans on using the offense. All right. Because he said some things that, from my opinion, has me believing that we're going to see a little bit more structure with this offense this season. All right. We're going to see a little bit more structure. We're going to see guys, and with the structure, hopefully we'll be able, we have guys that can handle it. Now, he did say that he believes he has guys that are able to retain things, which to me sounds like he was saying, unlike last year, right? That he did not have those guys that can retain things last year. And this season, he has guys that can retain things. So let's take a listen to what David Fizdale was saying about the offense and how it's going to be a little bit more diverse with things that we do. All right, let's take a listen.
Way more diversity in the offense. More screenaways, more cross screens, different motion movements. Because, again, we got a lot of different pieces now, and I want everyone to feel actively involved in the offense.
All right. That's important right there. It's not a bunch of details on who's going to be doing what. But at the very least, it tells us some of the things that he wants to do. Right? Screenaways, cross screens, different type of motion movements, he said. You have the players to do it. You have the talent to do it. You have the versatility of players to use these different type of schemes on the floor. Let's hope that he's able to do it. Let's hope that he's able to implement it. Let's hope that his coaching staff is able to be his voice when they're implementing these different sets and those type of things. When we broke down Julius Randle. We also broke down Wayne Ellington. And I showed you some things that they did with their previous teams that I would like to see Coach Fizdale implement. Now, he did say when he was watching Frank Ntilikina at FIBA that he was stealing some of the things that they did so that he could help Frank to perform. He's seen places and things where Frank was successful, so he's going to steal it, try to implement it. Hopefully he's done the same thing with Julius Randle. He's done the same thing with Elfrid Payton, Bobby Portis, all these guys that he picked up, Marcus Morris, Wayne Ellington, of course, I just mentioned him, to figure out ways to use these guys and get them into the offense so that he can have everyone actively involved, as he just said. I think that's very important. That's a piece right there. I don't know, I haven't really followed everything, what everyone's been saying on Twitter and all of the articles that's out there and all that kind of stuff. But from what I did see, everything's been about Dennis Smith Jr., his eating habits, losing some weight, maybe dunking on Mitchell Robinson, what Fizdale said about Frank Ntilikina. People glossed over the nuts and bolts of what he was saying about the offense. Still, the overall theme is defense, but he gave us a little bit of a clue of things that he'd like to do on the offensive side. Because our offense was putrid last season. Putrid. It was terrible. It's terrible. And if we're going to be successful, we've got to change that. We can't have that same kind of an offense, because if we do, you can forget about it. You can just forget about it. So, I want to hear from the guys in video chat. I want to hear what you guys think about what you just heard. You may not have heard it because you got to listen to it on the stream, but you probably heard me. I want to know what you guys think about what you just heard from David Fizdale. Right? And if you think it's the right strategy. All right. So let me see. Nate, I got you there. Make it quick, bro. Oh, hold up 1 second. You're not unmuted. I make it quick. Give me tell me in about 30 seconds to a minute.
You mean just how he's going to utilize Randle?
No, not Randle. Just the offense altogether.
Oh.
He said what he's looking to do is to add a lot of diversity to the offense, have a lot of screenaways, cross screens, different type of motion movements. Do you agree?
I think with Fizdale, versatility is a big thing with him this year. He's going to be able to have different options out there. We talked about having Randle at the 5 or Marcus at the 4. I mean, he's going to have a lot of options to play around with. The main thing is, can he get the players that need to score in the right positions? Can he get them on the block? Can he get them in the right positions to be effective be as effective as they can be? So, yeah.
Well, and it sounds like hopefully he's scouted these players, and I think he probably has, and the other guys have scouted these players, the assistant coaches and everything.
Well, you should know the players from last year. You should know their strengths and weaknesses.
Well, some of the players from last year, I'm talking about the new players. Hopefully, he scouted them and looked at what they've done with their previous teams so that he can implement some of those sets, some of those actions. You know what I mean? But I like hearing it. At least, we start to get some detail. Guillermo, coming to you. What do you think? Can you hear me, Guillermo?
Oh yeah, I'm my bad.
Yeah. What do you think?
This is what a professional basketball team should be doing. Me and City were just talking about is like, screens and curls. That makes possessions easier. That makes shots a lot easier. I mean, I understand we were tanking last year, but when you have that system in place, it gets guys easier shots. Easier shots means better probability of scoring. Better probability of scoring means better probability of winning. And yes, do you have better plays this year? Obviously, but it's nothing new. All the top teams do all those things to get guys open shots. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. What do you say? It's up to now implement it.
Well, it's nothing groundbreaking, but for our team, it wasn't done at all last year. It was just stand around and watch.
But real quick, I just want to say is like me and Steve were just talking about it. Like he said, and I think you're talking about the defense, right? I don't want to mix the words, right? But he probably has the same idea on offense that people can't grasp it. But it's like guys like Kevin Knox. He came from Kentucky where they did a lot of off-ball movement. Like Kevin Knox's game was off-ball movement, coming around screens, curls, getting the ball and shooting a little mid-range, and then also playing off his own dribble. But I just think that you don't underestimate these kids. Like challenge them. If they don't understand it, then you move on, or you try to get them better. Then move on if they don't get it. But challenge these kids. You never know what you get, man.
But how much last year was it that you didn't have a guard that could really demand the offense and make sure that people got into whatever sets he was asking them to do? And then how much of it was having someone?
Garbage. You have Frank, and you know what? I always go back to that Warriors game. And that's probably the best I've seen Frank ever play, and he had commanded that offense. Like I think that Fizdale probably wanted to
I get that, but does Frank do it? Hopefully he'll do it consistently. Does he do it consistently, and did he always get the same kind of respect? Because you also had someone like Tim Hardaway that was out there who would, just jack up whatever.
Right. So the issue is not whether. So are we grading whether he did it or whether it was effective? Because you can do it, right? You can try to implement. You could be the point guard trying to get guys into space, and that's all Frank did. Frank wasn't always trying to look to go past his guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Did we have the guys that could effectively run, whatever he was trying to run, and a guard that could get them to do it? Like sometimes you can have, Frank might be able to do it for a quarter or two or for a game, but could it happen every single day, every single night? I don't know.
Look, do we have the guys that you could do it so you can win? No, I don't think you had the guys. But you had a foundation. You had Dotson. You had Frank. Even Von Lake could. He was able to space out the floor a little bit. Cornette. But Fizdale that year they were just tanking. But it's like if they truly tried it, would they have won a few more games? Maybe. Would they have found something in Frank? Would Frank gain a little bit more confidence? Remember, Frank with KP when they were running that little pick and pop. Not saying we had a KP on the team, but when he had a guy who can actually play into that system, he looked really good. So to say he could, if he could do it game in and game out, again, Frank is the type of guy. He needs a coach that gives him confidence. So I think we could have done it to a little bit, better. Would we have probably do as good as this year? Probably nowhere near as close. But You know, you got to coach those guys up, man.
Well, let's see if we can get it done this year, because I believe we have a guy in Alfred Payton that can command that and demand that. I think we have a guy in him that can do it, and that's part of the reason why they picked him up. You know, and now that I mentioned Alfred Payton, I gotta come to City, right? There's no way I can't speak on Alfred Payton, the Elf of Wall Street, without coming to City for real. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Go ahead, City, man. What's up, man? Is Alfred Payton the guy? Coach Fizdale said he wants diversity on offense. He wants to do screenaways, cross screens. You're going to hear later on when we're talking about Julius Randle how he wants to do some pin downs, pick and rolls and things like. Is Alfred Payton the guy to lead that? Is he the one? Is he the one that can do it, or do you think Dennis Smith Jr. can probably do it too? Can command that offense too, and Frank Ntilikina?
Sim, honestly, to be real and to be honest, I think let me see. I think all three guys can do it, but it's just a matter of who can do it better.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like who
Makes
can
sense.
do it? Who can do it the most? Because I mean, we got Frank. We already know the guy's a pass first guy. We got Payton. We already know the guy, he pass first guy, and then we got DSJ. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a semi-high pass first guy or whatever. But the question is always going to be who can do it better and who can do it the most.
And
now,
consistent.
do I think that my guy can do it? Yes, sir. I'm rooting for him. And a lot of people, they be asking, "Oh, yo, why you rooting for this guy? Why what?" Same way you rooting for your guy DSJ. The same reason why people are rooting for Knox to do stuff. Same reason why people are rooting for Mitch to do stuff. Because I see the potential in the man, and I think he can do it. And I think he can help our team become a contender. Maybe not this year, like, you know what I'm saying? But with the pieces that we got, I do feel like if we're doing some screening rolls and some pick and rolls, the guy already got chemistry with Juju on that beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? He already got chemistry with him. Why not, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not use that to our best ability and throw it out there and see what we get instead of tinkering with the lineup, seeing who's going to do this, who can do that. Let's go with what we know. Like, you know what I'm saying? One of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. All right. And let me get some of these guys in the chat. You know what I mean? And do me a favor, City. Can you ask these guys to make sure that they turn down their stuff in the back?
Oh, yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you guys, turn your stuff down a little bit.
Yeah, turn your stuff down in the back. Now, you know, we talked about, you know, some of the things that maybe Coach Fizdale wants to do overall on the offensive side. Let's take a look at, because he kind of talked about Julius Randle and really did spotlight some of the things that he wanted to do with Julius Randle. He called Julius Randle probably our most versatile player, right? And he really did say how he wanted to use Julius Randle, and basically that's all over the floor. You know, he wants to use his skill set, really use his skill set from different parts of the floor. Let's take a listen. And then there's one other area, and I'm going to wait until after we hear this little breakdown. And then I'm going to ask you about another area that he'd like to use Julius Randle and see what you guys think about it. But here you go. This is how Coach Fizdale would like to use Julius Randle. Take a listen.
I'm going to do a lot of different stuff with Julius. I'm going to bring him, I'm going to have him handling pick and roll. I'm going to have him setting pick and rolls. He'll post and ice, and I'll run pin downs for him, cross screens and pin downs. So, you know, for a guy like that with that kind of talent, I want to be able to move him around and utilize his skill set from different parts of the floor.
Okay, now you heard that. He said he wants him to handle the ball in the pick and roll. Okay, so if he's handling the ball in the pick and roll, who is he rolling? Who is the roller? Is that Mitch? Maybe Mitch. Maybe it's Bobby Portis. Right? You would expect it to be one of those two guys. Probably Bobby Portis on a pick and pop. Maybe not as much of a pick and roll. Although Bobby Portis can do some pick and, a little bit of pick and roll. But it would probably be a pick and pop. A pick and pop for Bobby Portis. All right. With Mitch, you're looking at probably a pick and roll. All right, of course, you're going to have him setting picks. So if he's setting picks, you got guards, you got Elfrid Payton, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. So hopefully, if he's setting picks with those guys will be able to find Julius Randle. He's a big, strong target. You should be able to find Julius Randle if he's rolling to the basket, or even if he pops, because he can pop. All right, obviously, we know he's a beast in the post. And we talked about it when we did the film breakdown on Julius Randle. He can ISO. I'm not going to say that he's, Kobe Bryant in an ISO, Carmelo in an ISO, James Harden in an ISO. But he can ISO. He can get some buckets off the ISO. You know what I'm saying? But he's so strong. If he can get to the cup, he's going to get to the line. He said he wants to do some pin downs. Right? So if he's doing some pin downs, then he's catching that ball in that mid post, in the mid-range area. So you can get him into some isolation situations. I'm not sure how much he can do a catch and shoot. If you're doing a pin down, sometimes he'll have the opportunity, for a catch and shoot. I'm not exactly sure if Julius Randle can do a catch and shoot. There'll go some more details about how he wants to use these guys. Clearly, they've scouted and had in their mind a game plan for how they want to use Julius Randle. And been working on it, talking about it all summer long. Look, they signed these guys early, very early. You know what I mean? So it's not like they were waiting and waiting. They got it out the way. Boom, 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 boom. So now you have time to sit down and talk to each player about where they like the basketball, how they like the basketball, where are you most comfortable on the floor, and then start developing plans to use these guys. So that's how he wants to use Julius Randle. And I do want to take you back to, I'm going to bring the video back to one more thing, because he said another thing on how he wants to use Julius Randle. And I'm interested to see how you guys think about this. Right? Because I talked about this a little bit before, and some people kind of, Sam, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, but let's take a listen to this here. Again, Julius Randle. This is David Fizdale on a way and how he'd like to use Julius Randle.
He may, arguably our most versatile player. He brings the ball up for us. He's going to play a lot of point forward, especially when he rebounds it. He can post you. He can play off the elbow. I think he's an underrated passer.
Let's stop it right there. You heard what he said. Okay? He said point forward. He may play some point forward for us. Now, that's not saying that he's going to do it all the time. But he may play some point forward. Because he can get it off the glass and he can handle it, he can bring the ball up. Right now, I know I said small forward. He might play. Maybe he'll play some small forward. Point forward and small forward doesn't have to be the same thing. I get that. All right, so I'm gonna take that back when I said you guys were like, Sim, you're crazy. I'll take that back. Right, because I remember back I said small forward, but point forward. He might play some point forward, handling the ball a little bit. Now, a question about Julius Randle was, does he have basketball IQ, right? There's been people who's kind of questioned his basketball IQ. Does he have enough basketball IQ to run and be a point forward on a team? Well, I guess we'll find out this year whether or not he does. Right now, we all know that David Fizdale has some grandiose schemes going on in his head sometimes, or just says some things, but we don't, last year he said a lot of things. Didn't always see it come to fruition. I want to know what you think about this. Point forward. Do you see Julius Randle running any point forward? So I want to hear from you guys. right? And listen, you can call in, man, 516-405-2246. Give me a call. Let me know what you think. All right, let me know if you think Julius Randle might be able to run some point forward. You know, I see El Honcho says Randle has severe tunnel vision and over-reliance on his left hand. Now, you say that. Coach Fizdale says he's an underrated passer. I guess we'd have to really break down and see if there's any times that where other teams have used him to run that point forward spot. You know, we'll have to check that out and see. You know, I haven't really seen him do it. You know, so I want to know what you guys think, man. I'm going to come to the video chat. Like I said, you guys can feel free to call in. All right. And I got Mike here. Hopefully Mike's got the audio working. Mike, can you hear me? My man Mike, can you hear me? I can't hear you, my man. I don't know what's going on, but I can't hear you, so I'm not sure. So I'm going to come to Roz. Roz? I don't know. Roz, you look like you're about to go out and rob a bank or something in your Knicks gear, but, you know.
I'm with the sniping squad. I'm with the sniping squad. That's what it is.
All right. Tell me, can Julius Randle can Julius Randle run point forward? Roz.
What's good?
Can Julius Randle run point forward?
Oh, my bad. You know, I was lying. Sorry.
Yeah. I need you guys to be on with it, man. I'm going to skip past you.
My bad. Can Julius Randle what?
Can he run point forward?
On that position exactly, I wouldn't know as much. But seeing what I saw with him in the Pelicans when he had to take over in the team, I feel like he's a player that he's diverse enough to be in any position, and he's also a coach type of player. So I feel like whatever coach wants to do, I'm more for it.
Okay. All right. So you're not exactly sure whether or not he can run point forward. Nate, I'm gonna come to you, and then I'm gonna come to Guillermo because I know Guillermo's been doing some research on Julius Randle. Nate, what do you think, man? Can he run point forward?
Yes, he can. And I actually said in past shows that I think that's how they're going to utilize him. Listen, Julius Randle's a scorer. You need to put the ball in his hands. And Julius Randle has shown the ability to find the open man when he gets double teamed or has a lot of traffic in the post. And one thing Perry did say is what they wanted more shooters. Well, I wonder why. Because they're going to play inside with Julius Randle. And if Randle's got a lot of traffic inside, they're going to kick it out to the shooters and give them open shots because of the defense coming inside on Randle, because he's gonna demand double teams at times. I mean, the guy is just very hard to guard and is very versatile in every aspect. And honestly, Sim, I really think that they're going to use the philosophy that Orlando did with Dwight Howard. You know, they played everything to Dwight Howard inside, and what did they surround Dwight Howard with? Shooters. And I think that that's kind of the Knicks, the way they're going to do with Randle is they're going to play everything inside with Randle and and Randle seems like a willing passer, will get the ball out to the shooters to make the shots.
So you think they might use him as he's doing a point forward, but it's from the post.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be in the post a lot. You know what it kind of, I think that, you know, what kind of reminds me of how they think about utilize him is Kyle Quinn. Do you remember when they had Kyle Quinn in the post a lot, and Kyle Quinn would make those passes out of the post, and whether he would make the play inside or he'd kick it out to the shooters. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of how they're gonna use Julius Randle. I think you have to have him in the post, man. He is a great scorer inside, and you want to get him as close to the cup as possible. And I mean, you might start him at the top, but I think at some point he's going to find a way inside because he's so big and strong and he's
naturally, fast. Naturally, yeah. And he should find himself inside.
But I think he's a willing passer. If you watch some of his videos, I mean, he worked well with Anthony Davis, you know. And when he got a lot of attention, he would give the ball to Anthony Davis.
Okay,
so I think he could be a willing passer. Like I said, I think he could average 5 assists this year. I really do.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Guillermo, I'm coming to Guillermo because I know Guillermo's been doing some, breaking down Julius Randle in his game. So tell me, Can he run point forward? Fizdale said he might use him at point forward.
Right. I'm not even gonna let you finish this, Sim.
All right.
You're damn right. Julius Randle could run point forward, man, bruh. Knicks fans, offensively, y'all gonna be pleasantly surprised by what y'all see by Julius Randle. Like, in terms of his facilitation, like I said, man, there's certain people that they like. You know how like short guys want to be tall. Like, how can I put it? Like, sometimes well, back in the day, the smaller guards want to like post up and act like big men, and the big men want to have a front facing game like the smaller guys. Julius Randle, when he facilitates, it's almost like a pride thing when he gets that little through pass to somebody cutting. Like, remember how Kyle O'Quinn used to make that little pass at Doug McDermott? Like,
right.
And we haven't seen that in a while. A big man who's facilitating selflessly.
Cut, right? They used to do that little backdoor play.
Exactly. And that was just literally one setup play where Doug McDermott and somebody would come and it's like the fake set a screen, but then Doug McDermott would cut right back and then he'll catch at the beneath. Julius Randle likes to facilitate. And another thing about it is that he dribble drives, facilitate. So when he's driving to the basket, a lot of times you saw last year where it was Vonleh, it's like we saw a lot of big men, or we saw big men on our team kind of drive to the basket and had a very linear view as to what they're doing. Like, it's either all or nothing. I'm going to drive to the basket and try to get a foul, try to do something. If I get stuck, then I'm doing that. Julius Randle, when you watch him play, when he drives to the basket, he can sense when the defenses are collapsing on him. And that's why I think that spacing and what Fizdale said, he said he's going to have curls out sub screens. He needs to have proper spacing because we got to have a three-point shooter on the perimeter, catch passes from Randle, driving to the basket, the driving kick. This offense is going to be humming. Like, I would love to see Julius Randle as a point forward in this team. Look, if the DSJ experiment doesn't work, if Frank is still not coming along perfectly, you're still going to have Peyton, but you're going to need a big man to kind of spell those guys. Spell them whether it's in sets or whether they sit on the bench and Randle's in at the time being. Julius Randle can facilitate as a point forward. He's a smart, heady guy. And also take into account, when you look at his scouting from Kentucky, it wasn't like that was a main part of his game. So this guy, when we talk about what he learned, I don't know if he learned it from Kobe because Kobe's not a natural facilitator, but he learned that from somewhere. And for him to develop that within these 4 years, when he was basically a traditional power forward with the Lakers, and then with the Pelicans, where maybe he did it from necessity when AD went down. Like, this kid, Julius Randle, he's a smart kid. So you're damn right he can run point forward, man. I'm mad excited to see him use it like a big man Swiss Army knife for our team, man.
Yeah. Now, Fizdale also said that he'd like to use him as the ball handler in the pick and roll. Right? Who would you see him running that screen and roll with? If he's the ball handler, he's the passer on the screen and roll.
Who's what's crazy? When I watched the film, I'm not sure if I saw a lot of him running pick and roll, right? So he had chances to run it with AD and Okafor. And with Okafor, I didn't see the pick and roll as much, really, which is weird because he's good off the dribble, but you didn't really see it. I don't think he has like that prototypical point guard kind of like hezzy mentality to kind of like drive, like kind of like where you kind of trap your guy on a hip and then kind of go, or you know what I mean? So maybe I gotta watch a little bit more. But also when he ran with AD, it's like him and AD kind of like they complement each other in the sense of one guy plays perimeter, one guy plays inside. Even though sometimes Julius Randle would drift outside when AD was taking shots and stuff. But I never really saw pick and roll. But you did see opportunities where it's like maybe the defense kind of broke down. When AD does that like cross country run, and it's like no one's kind of paying attention to him, and he just like runs to the basket, and a point guard would kind of like throw it up, and he just makes a dunk. You saw some of that with Julius Randle, but in a half court set, I gotta watch it again. But who's to say why not? Look, if you're able to beat your man, and Julius Randle has a very quick first step. I would like to see him run that high pick and roll, and if you could, I can see him running with Mitch. Mitch has the length. He has like his timing improved a lot more from throughout the season as the season went on. I love to see him run that pick and roll because if him and Mitch could run that, you can have he's not the greatest defensive player, but if he can improve his defensive chops, that front court could be, very underrated.
And like I'm looking in the chat, and RJ, is saying that you got to have a lot of space in the movement without the ball. Definitely, especially if you're gonna have two big guys, Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle running a screen and roll. right, with Julius Randle being the ball handler and Mitch Robinson rolling to the basket, then yeah, you got to have spacing, but you also want to have guys that can cut to the basket, like you were saying about Kyle O'Quinn and Doug McDermott. Because if you then have small guys, like let's say, for example, you already know what Dennis Smith Jr. can do in the air, right? So let's say you got Julius Randle running that point forward and you got Mitchell Robinson giving him a screen, not really at the top of the wing, but, kind of on an angle to the basket outside the three-point line. And then you got Dennis Smith Jr. getting a backdoor screen for the oop from Julius Randle. Can that happen? I don't know. Maybe. Can Julius Randle pass that good? I don't know. But when
Sim,
you got those big guys out the
Julius
paint.
Randle with a shooter, man.
Well,
In that set,
okay.
You got to put a shooter there because when you have the pick and roll, right, and say they collapse on both, they can stop Mitch from getting to the basket, and Julius Randle doesn't have a clear shot at the basket. Like if you have two guys, you have Mitch coming on one side to go to the basket, and you have DSJ. It's kind of you're gonna have a lot of confusion. So you need somebody who kind of.
Well, this would be a design play where that Mitch, maybe he's setting the screen, but he's not really. Gonna roll to the basket, and you're gonna get a backdoor screen for DSJ for oop to the cup. Now, I guess that probably would work better if you had a shooter that once they set the screen, they can pop, so that way the shot blocker comes out to defend Bobby Portis or whoever it is to make sure they don't get the open three, and then you got Dennis Smith Jr. coming off the backdoor screen. That'd be crazy.
Oh, Sim, sorry, my bad. Can I just say one thing, man?
Yeah.
You just brought this up. This sounds crazy. I'm not saying this is going to be the lineup, but do you think? Because you say he might be a small forward. I don't think he's a small forward.
No, I'm not saying he's who are you talking about? A small forward.
I'm saying but I'm not getting on that point. I'm actually.
Okay, I'm just saying maybe he could play some. I'm not saying he is one.
I understand. Yeah. I'm actually going to expand that point. All I was going to say is, could you ever see? This sounds crazy. Could you ever see a lineup? Say even if it's like a crappy team, but could you ever see a lineup where you have Julius Randle, Mitch, and Portis?
Yes. That was my whole thing with saying. That was my whole thing with saying Julius Randle could play small forward at a time, because then you could have Mitch, who could be the guy running to the basket for the oop. You can have Bobby Portis spreading the floor. You can have Julius Randle, who is your small forward, but then he's got to defend small forwards. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the key there. Yes, he would have the upper hand because he'd be able to pound those small forwards down low and post them up and really score on them. But then can he defend the small forwards out on the perimeter?
Right.
That would be the thing.
And I know you got to go to another person. All I have to say about defense, I would say this: Portis is probably a little more motivated. Randall's probably not. So if you have that lineup, I would say your backcourt has to be defensive as hell. Like you have to have Frank in there. And you probably have to have, say, like a Dotson. But if you have those guys, you still have enough spacing. DSJ is going to be facilitating, and also that's also going to allow Frank, if he's developed from FIBA, he's going to get a lot of off-ball shots off ball, right? Yeah. So he could space out. That's a lineup. Look, if Randle, I like Randle's IQ, which is we haven't had high IQ on this team in years. Let's be honest. Randle is a high IQ. Selfless player. Now he has to give more defense, but hey, he's such a Swiss Army knife. You can toy around with this lineup, and if he improves defensively, hey.
All right, let's see. Some people in the chat said they're not rocking with that lineup, but I could see where it could happen. And one thing, Guillermo, I don't know what it is, but every once in a while your microphone is going like real loud. You know what I'm saying? And then coming back down and then going real loud and then coming back down. I don't know what it is with your mic. All right. It's like going in and out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, regular headphones would probably work. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're talking about Julius Randle and how David Fizdale would like to use Julius Randle. He also touched on Alonzo Trier a little bit. Okay, he touched on Alonzo Trier and how what he asked Alonzo Trier to do, what he wants Alonzo Trier to do what he wants Alonzo Trier to work on to become a better player. All right? So we're going to take a listen at what David Fizdale wants from Alonzo Trier. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of things that we talked about already from Alonzo Trier. You know, so let's take a listen. We're going to take a listen to David Fizdale. This is David Fizdale on Alonzo Trier and what he's given Alonzo Trier, to do. I don't know if it was during the offseason, if they're working on it in camp, but here you go.
One, I want to see him getting his three ball off more and not depending on playing off the dribble so much. Being willing to move the ball when the play calls for it, and then becoming a better rebounder from the guard position.
Now, that right there, he said, being a better rebounder from the guard position. I thought that he was a decent rebounder. I'm not exactly sure how many rebounds he averaged over the season. You know, I can look up that information, but I thought he was a decent rebounder. You can always get better. But right there, getting the three ball off, that's going to be important for Zoe. And I feel like when he's saying getting the three ball off, it's not, being able to dribble, boop, 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 and pull up the three. I think it's getting that three ball off, from spreading the floor, catch and shoot. And I hope that Alonzo Trier, as I've said on multiple occasions, I want Alonzo Trier to be able to come off of screens and catch the ball and catch and shoot. You know what I'm saying? Move the ball when the play calls for it. That's something that Alonzo Trier is going to have to learn. He's got to learn how to do that because it's not natural for him. He's grown up being the man on the team. He's grown up being the guy that can always get a bucket. Right? And he would get his bucket by catching in rhythm dribbles. Bop, 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 bop. And now I'm going to go because I got a good rhythm. Same thing with shooting the ball. Bop, bop, bop. I'm going to pull up because now I got a good rhythm. You know what I mean? Catching it and shooting it in rhythm. So he's got to learn how to get the rhythm off the ball. You know what I mean? And part of that has to do with his teammates. The ball has to move in rhythm. If the ball keeps stopping and there's not a good rhythm to the offense, then any shooter coming off screens, any shooter who is just a stand and catch shooter, you got to catch them in rhythm. So when they catch the ball in rhythm, they're coming right up in rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So his teammates got to help him out with that a little bit as well. So hopefully, Alonzo Trier has been working on those things. I like to hear that these are the things that they asked about Alonzo Trier. And I know there's a lot of people that disagree with me, but I feel like if Alonzo Trier works on some of these things and becomes efficient at playing off the ball, efficient at being able to catch and shoot, that one of these days, Alonzo Trier could be a starting two guard in the NBA. Now, looking at our depth at the shooting guard position, and who we have, will it be here? I don't know. And will it be this year? I don't know. Some people believe that Alonzo Trier is going to start this year. I've heard that from a few people that they believe Alonzo Trier is going to start. But David Fizdale gave him the plan. And I think that Alonzo Trier, with the right work, obviously, that he can execute that plan. And we'll see it in the games. I cannot wait until October 7th. We're about 6 days away. We'll get to see these young guys get out there and play a little bit. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I want to see everybody play from the number one player on the team to the 20th player on the team. I want to see everybody play. All right, so I want to get to City. I want to know, City, what you think about, what you heard from David Fizdale and, on Alonzo Trier. And are those the right things? Are those the right things for Alonzo Trier? You know what I'm saying? To make his mark, and take that next step as an NBA player. City, go ahead, man. Alonzo Trier, what you heard from David Fizdale, are those the things that you think is going to take Alonzo Trier to the next level? Or is it just those are the things that we need for him to do to fit within our offense? Or it's probably both. But what do you think?
So, Sim, I got to say this, right? I got to say, for one, it's got to be both. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy, he has to develop a rhythm game as far as like what we were talking about, or just like what you said a little bit ago. But anyways, what we were talking about is like he's got to develop a rhythm game. Like, you know what I'm saying? To where he can catch and shoot, come off of screens, and also do some other stuff to get you in the offense. Like you remember last year, right? When we seen him, right? Also, wait, I can't. Hold on, I might be getting my years confused, but I want to say his first year.
Last year was his first year. Last year was Zoe's first year.
All right. So last year, right, we didn't see him really come off of screens and stuff like that. We just kind of saw him do his thing, handle the ball, do what he needed to do or whatever. But now that we got the team that we have and we got the players that we have and we got the point guards that we have, yes, now it's time to see if you can be a true shooting guard. Because a true shooting guard means what? You got to do other stuff just then handling the ball and getting your ISO plays and scoring the basketball. True shooting guard, yeah, you got to run around. You got to come off of screens. Sometimes you even got to set picks or whatever. So we need to see if this guy can do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I just want to relate it to the players that we have right now. With the players that we have right now, it's a necessity to see if he has those skills in him. Because if he doesn't have those skills in him, I could tell you right now, he's out the door, bro.
Okay. All right. I think that he has those skills in him. I think that he can do it now. I feel like Alonzo Trier is just a talented dude, talented player. And whatever it is that the coach asked him to do, I think he can probably do it.
Which, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But again, we got to see what he's gonna be able to do, because he didn't do it. Well, all right, I can't even say that because he got hurt last year. So, and I do remember after he got hurt, he came back and he wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So let's hope he's healthy and he can come back and do whatever it is that he needs to do to stay on the team, because if he doesn't, I believe he's out the window.
Okay. All right. Nate, coming to you, bro. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, so Trier, the obvious ones is he's got to become a willing passer. He's got to play within the offense. I think this ISO thing was just too much, it took away from the flow of the offense. Moving without the ball. I mean, Sim, if you want to be a shooting guard and starting shooting guard in the NBA, you got to move without the ball. I mean, you can't just expect the ball in your hands all the time. You gotta earn your shot. You gotta earn your shots. You gotta move. You gotta cut and all that stuff. Another thing I will say about Trier that I want to see a little bit more is on fast breaks. I want him to push more. I think he's got enough good speed to push the ball, and he can also, like I said, if he becomes a willing passer, he can find open guys. So
and listen,
I'd like to see him more involved in the fast break, maybe push the ball a little bit more.
Right.
Especially if the Knicks are going to run more of we get the rebound and we go and we set our offense up and all that. I'd like to see Trier do that more.
Now, see, you said set up the offense. I don't want to see Trier being the guy setting up the offense. I think that it's not. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but I don't think that's going to be best suited for him. We have other guys that can do that. I think you want Trier to be the guy that can go ahead and score. It doesn't have to be, though, that every time he touches the ball, he goes and scores. Like Fizdale said, move the ball when the play calls for it, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think I don't want to put that responsibility on Trier. I want him to be free to go out and play his game, score the basketball, but play within the offense, too.
But but he's got such a good first step. Is what I'm saying is like if it's on a fast break and he's got the ball in his hands, he take it to the basket, because he's aggressive like that, or kick it out to a shooter, or kick or feed Julius Randle down low or Mitch Robinson.
Yeah, and that's moving the ball when the play calls for it. But I don't want to see Alonzo Trier really coming down and setting up the play, calling out the play, unless we're in a situation where we have so many guards down hurt and he has to play that role. But I want to see Alonzo Trier getting his when it's time, because that's what he does. That's what he's good at. You know what I'm saying? Going and getting his and scoring the basketball. It just has to be within the offense at the right time, at the right spot, because, Trier is going to be a big key for us this season. You know what I mean? If we're gonna shock some people, surprise some people like people think we can, we're gonna need Alonzo Trier, because the guy can straight up score the basketball and he can play defense. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people that's gonna be not a lot of people that's gonna stop him, especially if he adds to his game the ability to get to the cup in one or two dribbles, 3 at the most. But 1 or 2 dribbles, he can catch it, boop, 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 and he's there. Or boop, boop, and he's pulled up. That way, everyone's not standing around watching him, and it stays within the flow of the offense. If he can add that to his game, also add that come curling off of screens, catch and shoot type of thing to his game. Take one thing at a time, season after season, off season after off season, as he develops. He'll be a lethal weapon for us, going forward. All right, let me get to a phone call. All right.
Especially if he
Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. Please do me a favor and turn that down in the back. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. So what you think, man, about Zoe?
What I think about Zoe, I think it's pretty harsh to say after his first year that, he's just going to be an isolation player. I feel like, in this year with him working on his three-point shooting, working on his game quite a little bit, he'll be able to shoot off the fly a little more and be a little more confident, because he knows the GMs want him to shoot, the coach wants him to shoot, everybody wants him to take those shots. And I think he'll work more within the offense, being that they have more talent.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because they have more talent. And you got guys like, listen, he's not going to be getting into arguments with Marcus Morris the way he was with Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no.
When you got guys like that on your bench and in your locker room, it's easy to get into an argument as a rookie with Tim Hardaway Jr. You probably don't have no respect for him. You're close to the same age. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in the locker room, and there's no enforcer in the locker room. But you're in the locker. This year, you got some enforcers in the locker room that can put some of those, egos and attitudes and those type of things in check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. And you got guys who actually won something. Like, it's very hard when guys are younger. Even if, like, say you're probably like in your 7th year in the NBA and you still haven't really have nothing to show for it. It's hard to demand that respect,
Yeah.
But if younger guys see you and they respect you, they know you have a winning mentality. You lead by example, a lot like what Julius Randle talked about on his first day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like people, guys like that will more so respect you because they know, like, all right, this guy's leading me the right way versus a guy who's just yelling at me and telling me to do this or telling me to do that.
Right. No doubt. Definitely, man. Hey, my man, I appreciate the phone call.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. I appreciate you answering, giving me an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely, man. Look forward to hearing you call in again.
Yeah, for sure, man.
No doubt,
Take
man.
it easy.
All right, peace. Give me a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-405-2246. And while you're doing that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. If you're on Sportscaster, follow me on Sportscaster if you're on Sportscaster. All right? We're growing that community on Sportscaster, and I want you to be a part of it. So go ahead and follow me on Sportscaster. You can follow me on Instagram Facebook, Twitter. I'm on all of it. Nothing but Knicks. Real simple. And I'm now on Spotify. So if you're just riding in your car, you can't really pop in, watch the video on YouTube, or you're at work and you just want to listen, Nothing But Knicks on Spotify. You can listen to me there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get back to the video chat because we got my man OG Mark joined us in the video chat. Haven't seen him in a while, so I want to give a big shout out to OG Mark that's joining us. Oh, looks like Guillermo got his audio fixed, so we'll be able to. It sounded like Guillermo was, getting calls from aliens or something. You know what I'm saying? They was tapping into his headphones and his Knicks fans on Mars, I guess. Was tapping into Guillermo's headset. But anyway, OG Mark, what's poppin',
he's our
man?
Extraterrestrial.
What's going on, OG Mark? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, pal. How you making out?
I'm good, man. I feel good. I like what I'm seeing with the New York Knicks right now. I feel good about what I hear and all that stuff, so it makes me very optimistic.
Sweet. Me too, man. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that they scratch and claw their way the whole season and just dig their way into New Jersey's backside, man, and sneak in front of them in the playoffs somehow. I don't ask for much.
Hey, listen. Hey, you know what? Don't get me too excited right now, but yeah, it could happen, man. It could happen. We got to put it together. We got to put it together the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If Coach Fizdale can do the things that he says he wants to do on the offensive side, you know what I mean? Then maybe we could do something like that. He's got to put it together on the offensive side, and like he's been saying, it's got to start with the defense, though. You know what I'm saying? He's got to start with the defense. They asked him today, with guys battling for positions,
right?
Is it going to come down to who's playing defense? And he said, yeah, we started today with defense. Although it was a non-contact day in practice, he said, they started with defense. They went through their language. They went through their rotations. You know what I'm saying? And then they went into some.
You must love that stuff.
Oh, I love to hear that stuff. That's why, I love to hear what coaches are doing. He didn't really get into his defensive schemes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's the people that make the best battle plans. You watch any great general that ever led men into battle, especially when they were doing hand-to-hand combat. The people that lay out the best plan, they're the ones that wind up winning, and they fight as a team. It is the art of war. Amen, Guillermo. Tell them. Yo.
No doubt. Hey, Mark, let me get to a phone call. When I come back, I'm coming right back to you because I want to talk about Frank Ntilikina. All right? Okay? Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'? Hello, caller. You there? Hello? Yo, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Rob the Knicks.
Hey, Rob, what's going on, man? I seen you on the Nicovelli show.
Oh, yeah, I gave you a shout out.
Yeah, I appreciate you for shouting me out with shouting us out on Nicovelli TV, man. And when we get a chance or whatever, you know what I'm saying, shoot me an email. Let me get Nicovelli's info. He said, it's okay to get the info so I can highlight him and we can, hopefully I can get him on the show. I like what he does. I really like what he does out there. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to get him on the show. And then when I'm in New York, I'm trying to get on his show.
Yeah, I got up there. I was up there last week. We had set it up. And then, I told him about you, but he already knew. He already knew about you. I said, yo, that's good people. I said, when we start this off, I got to give my man a shout out. He was like, yo, no doubt. So
yeah, man. Yeah. I like the way he does it, man. I like the way he does it. He's right there. He's getting the pulse of the fan that's on the street for real. So I'm feeling that.
Yeah, that's what I was too. That's what I told him. I got to meet up with. I'll give you an email. I'll give you my email, and then I can give you the information.
Sound good. So I know you called in because we were talking about Zoe, man. So go ahead.
Yo, that's my man. Yo, Zoe is like this. Like you said, the last caller, he said it right. Now you're gonna see a different aspect of his game because he can do it all. I watch highlights of him in college, and he can do what Dotson can do. He just didn't do it last year because, like you said, he had a lack of talent.
And then he had to rely on doing a lot. And then besides, from where he came from and what he had to do to make the team the undrafted, you have to stick with what works. Now he's more comfortable that he knows that he's on the team this year, and you're going to see a lot of different skills that he brings to the table. And it's going to be real exciting with him. Like I said, I'm looking for him to be the second lead scorer. Whether it's six man or is he going to be at the two? But I think that he's going to be able to put up the numbers, and he can play D. You're going to see a lot of things. You're going to be pleased. You're going to be pleasantly surprised with him this year when you see how his game is going to round out when talent is there.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, all
right. So you got him as a second leading scorer. Listen, I'm not gonna say no. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say no to that. He could very well be. We'll see how everything works out. You know what I mean? One thing that Fizdale did say, defense has got to be the thing that gets it, man. And Alonzo Trier, he can play defense too.
That's right. And
he can play defense too.
I had told everybody like a couple months ago that the tree that Fizdale comes from is Pat Riley. That's why I always thought that RJ is not going to be a guarantee. It's not going to be a guarantee. He's going to have to show, because Pat Riley never started rookies back in the day, and everybody on this tree looked at rookies the same way. Look at Winslow with Spoelstra. He's just really started to play like his second, third year. Mm-hmm. Knox caught a break because it was lack of talent. But all of those young guys, they're going to have to really prove, they're going to have to fight for their minutes. Now it's going to definitely be like what he said, kill what you eat. Kill what you eat. Because now he has things that he can go to. If it's not working, he's going to have things that he can go to. And it's going to be a lot of players. If you're not bringing it, it's not about what you did last year.
Yeah.
It's what you're doing now to fit in, because all three of them, I watched them on MSG when the press conference, they talking about wins. Development is there. They want these veteran guys to help these guys develop. And the most of the development that we're going to see, I don't think it's going to be on the floor, Sam. They're going to have to do it in practice and get the trust to make it to the floor. It's not going to be trial and error this year. I don't even think so. I'm not getting that feeling that they're going to get the pass that they got last year. It's going to be hard for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, even like you said, the rookies, even with RJ Barrett yesterday, or at media day, David Fizdale said it may be harder for RJ Barrett this year than it was for Kevin Knox last year. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more talent on the team. He's going to have to fight for it. And there's a lot of people, that argue, oh, man, you don't draft RJ Barrett at number 3 and then don't start him. But he's got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of competition, and there's nothing wrong. I don't understand everybody's mindset. They think if you don't start somebody, that means you don't think of them as your franchise player. You don't think of them as one of your future stars or even a future all-star. I don't get that thinking. I just don't get that thinking. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with a guy working his way up through the ranks before he takes the reins. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with a guy paying his dues. I just don't understand it. And sometimes it's that mentality too, that when you work someplace, you know what I'm saying, and you think you're supposed to get the promotion and somebody else gets it over you, and you think like, damn, I was supposed to get that promotion. But maybe this person just paid their dues. You know what I'm saying? And you got to pay your dues too and prove yourself a little bit. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. Look, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when the Jordans and the Ewings and them guys was coming out of college, they were coming out of college as juniors. They wasn't 19 years old. They wasn't 20 years old. These guys were 21, 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? So they're coming in. They were already coming into the league with a different mentality. You know what I'm saying? They're already, their body, the size and strength, it was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit stronger. They're a little bit more mature because they've been in college. They've experienced some things out in the real world without living with their parents. You know what I'm saying? You got guys that's coming into the league that's 19 years old. They're just six months removed from living with their parents. They haven't experienced a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just don't understand where people get this idea that just because you say, well, you know, this guy right now, we want him to come off the bench, means that you don't think of that person as your franchise, or you don't think of that person as a future all-star. I don't get that.
They see these players a lot on YouTube, what they doing to lesser competition, and then as soon as they make it to the pro, they got a visual of this guy doing that at that. So he's supposed to be able to start and do that in the NBA. And it doesn't work like that.
Right.
It doesn't. They're getting pushed around, knocked off their square, attitude adjustments, confidence coming to issues, a lot of things that they never even thought about coming into the league. Now they're thinking about,
it's different. Now listen.
As good as me.
Right, exactly. So, now listen, there's going to be guys that come into the league and they deserve to start because they're the best at their position, maybe the best on their team. They deserve to start. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be guys that come into the league that people think are going to be a star. If people think this guy's going to be a star, but maybe he's just not ready to start. Maybe there's some things that it just happens that way, man. I just don't get the thinking. I don't get the thinking. All right. So before I let you go, let me get you real quick to just answer me this.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard any of the interview from David Fizdale today, but he talked about Frank Ntilikina. He was happy to see Frank Ntilikina performed the way that he performed in FIBA. And I'm going to play some of David Fizdale talking about Frank. He was happy to see the way that he performed at FIBA. He feels like, he's coming in with his body healthy, his mind clear. And obviously he's going to get the same chance as everybody else. He met with Frank Ntilikina. He said he stole some of the sets that they were doing over there in France for FIBA so that he can work those into what he wants to do with the Knicks to try to give Frank the best possible chance to succeed. What do you think? What do you think about it? You think he's just shooting?
I think that's great for him.
Mm-hmm.
That he's showing confidence in Frank like that, and Frank coming off his fever play, that now he can say that they got each other, they in each other's mind. And I think that's a good boost for Frank, because on Nick Versatility, I mentioned the same thing, pretty much the same thing before even. I said they need to connect when he gets back, because he had a good FIFA, and now he gets back in training camp. And if they can connect and Frank has confidence in Fizdale, I think this would be a jump season for Frank.
Okay.
And going forward. And I think that it would help him a whole lot. That he can get into, like, if he can't be a rotation player, but get right there to a situational, whereas though he's getting minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas though he's getting consistent minutes, and he knows what the coach wants from him.
Yeah.
And I think if you put Frank in that situation like that, Frank is going to blossom. It might be slow, but it's going to get better. It's going to progress better and better.
All right.
So I like what Fizdale said, and I like the way that Frank, he has a different look on his face too.
Well,
when he was standing up there on the podium, he just had like something confident about him.
Well, hopefully he's got some confidence. Hopefully he's coming in with some confidence. Hey, Rob, man, I appreciate it. I want to get to this, Fizdale talking about Frank a little bit, and
okay,
and then I'm gonna get back to the video chat. All right.
Okay. That's
all right,
cool.
man.
I'm tuned in.
Make sure you email me Nick Avelli's info.
I'm gonna do that.
All right.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. No doubt. Peace.
All right, later.
So let's hear. I want you guys to hear what David Fizdale was saying about Frank. All right. And I want to know what you guys think. This is David Fizdale on Frank Ntilikina and his off season with FIBA and all that good stuff. Check it out.
We were asking the other day about Frank a little bit, just what you're seeing from him the first couple of days, some of the confidence from the summer carry over a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's coming in with a whole fresh mindset. Again, his health was really the thing that was demoralizing, and he's healthy this year. He's coming off a really good summer, and he's focused and he's competing.
You didn't go over to China at all?
No. I went, actually the funny thing is the first person I wanted to go see this summer was Frank. So this summer I went to see Frank first in LA, and we went to have lunch and just spent a few hours together talking about, how do we handle, getting that body healthy and really getting his mindset back to being aggressive and confident.
That was in the spring?
Yeah. That was like 2 weeks after the season was over. I went up there to see him, and then I went again, and I want to say it was right before he had to go get with this team in France to Dallas, and spent some time with him in Dallas as well, just to reiterate that message to him that, got a lot of confidence in you, play free, leave everything behind you.
When you see him in the fourth quarter of that U.S. game, it seemed like he's doing that. Is that pleasing to you to see?
Yeah, I think that's what he needed. He needed to feel that success. He needed to see that ball go through the net a few times. And to beat the USA team, just for him and for all of his teammates, I know that was a big moment. And the fact that he was the catalyst of that really, really did some good stuff for his confidence.
Watching the way that France used him, is there anything that you was able
Yeah, I studied the heck out of him, and it's really what I've always said about him. He can be on the ball, he can be off the ball, he can guard multiple guys on the court. I feel like it's limiting him by trying to just pigeonhole him into one position, and I stole a couple of their sets too.
Were you just watching that U.S. game, or did you watch?
I watched almost every. I think I watched, I would say 90% of the games, his games. Just to, again, like I said, I'm a thief, stealing from the coaches. All of those coaches over there were running great stuff, and then I just really wanted to lock in on some different things that was successful for him.
All right. So that's David Fizdale talking about Frank Ntilikina. And like you said, he wanted to lock in on some things that was successful for Frank. I hope that it works. Let me just say that. I hope that it works because, Frank Ntilikina has, since he's been in the NBA, he's had problems adjusting to the American style of play. If David Fizdale, and maybe David Fizdale didn't have much to go by before he got to work with Frank, and obviously last year was a disaster. If David Fizdale can steal, like he said, steal some of those sets that he's seen France use Frank Ntilikina, how they use Frank Ntilikina, implement him with the Knicks, that will ease his transition. If you want to still say that he's in transition. I don't know if he's still in transition or not. I guess he's still in transition. That'll ease it. Let him get comfortable running some sets that he's used to running, and then ease into playing some of the other things. I'll say this, I don't know what's going to happen with Frank Ntilikina this season. Right, I hope that Fizdale uses him. I believe that Fizdale sees him as a player, not just as a point guard, but a guy that can go all over the floor. And look, there's gonna be enough room for Frank to play because all three of our point guards are injury prone. Frank played 40 games last year. Elfrid Payton played like 40 games last year. Dennis Smith Jr. only played like 40 games last year, something like that. All of these guys missed time. You can expect they're probably gonna miss time this season. If they don't, then I guess that's a good problem to have. So he's going to get his chance. And, he can play the shooting guard. He can play the small forward position. There's going to be guys that sit down and all this kind of stuff, and have days off and time off. And he's going to get a chance to play. Will he perform? We'll see. Now, will he have enough time so that he can get a good rhythm going? Well, any of our players have enough time so that they can get a good rhythm going. I'm sure there's going to be some of your staples that are always playing no matter what. There's going to be some of the guys that are on the cusp. Frank Ntilikina, Damian Dotson. I think, that are kind of on the cusp, and you're going to ask, are they getting enough time so that they can really get into a rhythm of the game? I don't know. We're going to see how this whole thing works out. But a lot of people, and David Fizdale, we know people call him a used car salesman and all that stuff. So we know that he likes to talk. But hey, everything that everyone thinks is that the Knicks are sour on Frank Ntilikina. Most people think the Knicks are sour on Frank Ntilikina. Most people think that because he was not drafted by Scott Perry, David Fizdale, he's not their guy. You know, David Fizdale maybe sounds a little bit different. It could just be talk for the camera. We're going to see, man. We're going to see how it plays out. October 7th in D.C., we're going to get a chance to really see some of this. You know, we'll get a chance to really see some of this. I want to know what you guys think. And then we'll get to listen to Frank Ntilikina. We'll get to listen to Dennis Smith Jr. All right? So I want to know what you guys think. Is David Fizdale just running off at the mouth? Or is he serious? And seriously thinks that Frank Ntilikina can find his way into being a rotation player on his team? Do you think he's going to be a rotation player on the team? And we see Aunt G is back in the chat. So I'm going to get to Aunt G. Oh, before I get to Aunt G, though, I want to give a big shout out to my man, YouTube Be It. Said he just copped his NBK shirt. Shout out to you, my man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know it'll be a good look is if you know, when you finally get it, join us on the video chat, rocking the NBK shirt. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So, big shout out to you for that, my man, YouTube Big. And I see you opening night at the Garden. You know what I'm saying? At the home opener. All right, King Aunt G, what's popping, brother? How you feeling? Oh, hold up 1 second. Let me get you unmuted. There you go. What's popping with you, Aunt G?
What's up, Sam? How's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so you tell me, man. Frank, is he going to be in a rotation or what?
I think definitely early in the season. Because I think we're going to go like 10, 12, or like 10, 11 deep. And if we're going to be playing like full court pressure defense, there's definitely minutes there for him. As the season goes on, if we're any bit successful, the only way he's going to continue to get minutes, though, is to be a consistent three-point shooter. If he could do that and turn himself into a 3-and-D type, I think there's 12 to 15 minutes a game for Frank somewhere.
Okay.
Only because I think he's like maybe the only one of our point guards that can play another position. I hear all this talk with Dennis Smith Jr. at the 2 and all that. I don't think he has the jump shot for it, the size. I think Dennis Smith Jr. is a good enough passer. I think his best position is to try to groom him into a point guard. I think Frank, I don't think really see Alfred Payton as an off guard. He's too great of a passer. So I think Frank is the only one that can play other positions. So I think there's minutes for him. What to expect, I don't know. I like the way he talked, like the way he sounded, his body language, his persona. Like you can kind of feel his energy off the screen. He seemed confident. So we'll see what happens, man.
Do you think? I mean, obviously he's confident coming off of FIBA. He has to be, right? He's got to be confident coming off of FIBA. Well, that same confidence translate. I guess training camp will tell us a lot. You know what I mean? You know, some of that training camp. You know what he's doing in training camp right now. If he's playing well in training camp, whatever he's doing, you know, he'll either gain some confidence or lose some confidence. You know what I mean? But do you think he has enough confidence brooding right now coming off of his performance in FIBA that is going to translate, is going to boil right over here in the training camp and then into the preseason, then the regular season?
I think definitely for the preseason. I think I said it before. I think the big telltale sign is going to be when he has that first like 3 for 20 slump or 3 for 17 slump over multiple games. Like how will he respond? And I would kind of think that's up to the vets on the team to kind of keep his, you know, and the vets and Fizz. You know, I think it's also up to Fizz to keep, you know, reinforcing him, keep his confidence high. Because I think he is going to go through a stretch this year where he's not knocking down shots like everybody does.
Right,
and
of course.
I would like to see how he responds to that.
Okay.
How he responds to maybe not playing a lot one game or, you know, I want to see how he responds to that. And if he can respond well to that, then I think that's a bigger sign of.
Now when you say not playing a lot, do you mean not how he responds as far as being upset, but how he responds in, okay, now I can come back the next game when I am getting 20 minutes to still perform.
Right. Because I don't think Frank's personality, I don't think he would be upset. But I just don't want his confidence to get shaken.
Right.
You know, kind of like how Damian Dotson, he missed, like, I think 4 or 5 games in a row at one point. He came in and he still had that moxie about him, that confidence that he knew he was good. And he knew that he should have been on the floor. So, you know, I just want to see Frank maintain that. And I think there's definitely minutes for him because the way if we're gonna be picking up full court, what better guard on our team to pick up full court than Frank? So,
exactly, because Frank can, he can and will pick up full court. You know, I mean that's and look, that's where he's got to stake his claim. He's got to stake his claim as defense. You know, you got to have something to hang your hat on, right? To start to get minutes. If he can come in and play defense and hang his hat on that, and then let the rest of his game come around. You know what I mean?
He needs to separate himself from the pack when it comes to that, though.
Yes.
He can't just be, spiritic on defense, or just good enough or willing. I think he needs to separate himself from the pack so that we have no choice but to put him on the court.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
Fizdale's hand.
Yeah. All right. Let me get to a phone call. I'm gonna come back to you. All right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping? Make sure you turn that down in the back, please. Yeah, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Right now we're talking about Frank Ntilikina. He seems confident coming off of FIBA. David Fizdale seems confident. You know, do you think is he gonna get his fair shake? Because a lot of people said last year he didn't get his fair shake. Is he gonna get his fair shake? And do you think he can run with the mantle? Do you think he can? I'm not saying be the starter and this and that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'm just saying, do you think he can run with the mantle? He gets his fair shake, and now he's like, okay, I'm taking this, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in the rotation. Do you think he can do it?
For sure, especially with Dotson out. I think, like Fitz said, he doesn't want to run him as purely the point. He wants to run him, probably the point in the other wing positions. So if you can, I mean, I don't ever see superstar, like everybody says Gary Payton nonsense. If we can get a Shane Battier or Shane Battier light type guy out of Frank, where you set him on the opposing best wing player, and he just goes in and, hey, if he can turn 30 into 24, that's him doing his job. He's never going to be a 20-point a night. He's not even going to be a 15-point a night scorer. But if he can go in and 12 and 6, 12 and 8 off the bench, consistent, that's a championship type bench player. I want Frank. I love it. You saw it in FIBA. He went out there and he handled Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker's a top 10 point guard. And he handled him. He outplayed him and won the game for him. So, yeah, Frank's good with me.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Time is going to tell. Let's transition. I was going to play some of Frank Ntilikina, but we kind of talked about it a lot, so no need in playing the interview. You guys can go on MSG Networks or the New York Knicks YouTube page, and you can hear the interview. Let's transition into Dennis Smith Jr. All right. Because, King Ant G was, he was just saying that Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., he sees him better. They need to try to groom him to be a point guard. My question is, what kind of point guard? Because I don't think, obviously we would like Dennis Smith Jr. to learn how to facilitate a little bit better. But is that ever going to be part of his game? Is that ever what Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be?
No. Dennis Smith Jr. is a Damian Lillard. He's a Damian Lillard type. I'm trying to think of another, almost a Kyrie type. Not his handles aren't there, but his ability to get to the basket is undeniable. He's going to go out and score. He's going to score, but he's still going to get 5 assists. And it's not about, you're not always going to get Steve Nash, but those guys win games. Not everybody's going to be Steph, and not everybody's going to be Westbrook. So, but Dame Lillard just got $250 million contract. He's pretty good. So if we get Dame Lillard out of Dennis Smith Jr., hey, I'll take it.
Okay, let me ask you. I'm gonna ask you this, and then I'm gonna let you go. Can you win a championship with Dame Lillard?
I think you can win a championship with Dame Lillard and if you had Dame Lillard and a fully functional Frank, like the Frank you saw in FIBA. Absolutely.
Okay, so if you think,
I don't know enough about Elfrid Payton to really say he would be, but I mean, if you can get what you got from Frank, and then you behind Dennis Smith Jr., absolutely.
okay, so then you think if Dennis Smith Jr. can develop to be a Damian Lillard type, you can win with him.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that Portland team is that CJ McCollum doesn't play defense, and that's always. I
get that. I'm just saying, putting the right pieces around. Can you win with Dame Lillard? That's all I'm asking. And if so, absolutely. And you're saying that Dennis Smith Jr. can be a Dame Lillard, then you think we could possibly win with Dennis Smith Jr. with the skills that he has, without him transitioning to be a facilitating point guard.
No, because I mean, like I said, when I was talking about with Dame Lillard, they haven't had the right team around them, and they had the right team around them, and they were I think top 3 in the West and made it to the Western Conference Finals without Nurkic, with Enes Kanter as the number 1 center.
Okay.
I mean, if they had Nurkic, how much better would they have been?
Okay. All right. Well,
I mean, if you put the right team around a Dennis Smith type, I mean, if R.J. Barrett comes out and, C.J. McCollum's a second-round pick. It's not like he was.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it.
If R.J. Barrett can come out as a number 3 pick and average 22 points a game next year, the year after.
Oh.
Yeah, we can definitely win.
Okay. All right. Hey, I appreciate the call, my man.
No. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, have
Thank
a good
you very
one.
much.
All right. Peace. And listen, I'll say this. Dennis Smith Jr. would need to have the stuff in the belly that Dame Lillard has, right? He's got to have that same stuff. It's yet to be seen if he has it or not, but he's got to have that same stuff. All right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, Black, it's time. Shout out to the chat. What's good,
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. We talking about Dennis Smith Jr. right now. I'm about to get into his his interview in a second. But we're talking about Dennis Smith Jr. And, I mean, we know what he's going to mean to this team because offensively, the kid is super, uber, duper talented. You know what I mean? So we know what he's going to mean to this team. You heard Rob the Knicks say that he believes Alonzo Trier will be the second leading scorer on this team. He's going to have to fight that out with Dennis Smith Jr. and R.J. Barrett, probably, and maybe even Bobby Portis. You know what I'm saying? Is Dennis Smith Jr. the kind of guy you can win with going, in the future? Do you think he's going to turn out to be that kind of guy that you can ride to a Eastern Conference Finals, to a Finals? Not him being the main guy, but do you think he can be one of those pieces, or is he going to be one of those guys that's like a J.R. Smith, those type of guys that can put up some numbers, 15, 16, 17 points? Well, J.R. Smith, he won a championship with LeBron, but, he was like the 6th option. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was one of the top 3 options on the team. He was one of the 6th option. He was the 6th option. He was a role player on that. You could have J.R. Smith wasn't going to be the determining factor. You know what I'm saying? They would probably want it without J.R. Smith.
Well, I think I heard you ask the last caller about him developing into more of a pure point guard.
Well, I was asking him that, and I asked him whether or not he thinks he can ever be that. I don't think he's ever going to be that. I think that he's going to be, he's going to be the guy that looks for his shot first. I think that's just in his nature, to be the guy. I don't want to say looks for his shot first, but looks to see what he can do first. Not, okay, I'm going to get you the ball and let you do the creating. But, okay, let me see. Can I get to the
comparison with Derrick Rose?
Say that again?
I said, it sounds like you agreeing with my comparison to Derrick Rose.
Yeah, he's
more of a Derrick Rose type than a Damian Lillard, because I think Dame is definitely more well-rounded. I think right now his game is more of a Derrick Rose point guard. I think he could translate into more of a Dame Lillard point guard.
Okay.
I think it's gonna take, all it really takes is poise, because he can pretty much get to the basket at will.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, for him, just maybe seeing some plays a little bit ahead and reading some defenses, that's all it really takes, especially if you're already adept to get into the basket, because now you're going to draw attention anyway.
Right.
I mean, and another thing that helps with that is your finishing. If you start to finish more, it's going to open things up more for you to dish off.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I think he could translate into a winning point guard. I don't think he would. I don't think he would need to be a top 3 option to be that winning piece on our team.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would probably have to be more of a 4th, maybe 5th option.
Okay.
But he's gonna have to have the game slow down a little bit for him, or him to slow down a little bit.
Him to slow down.
Let the game translate.
And look, it's like that with a lot of young players anyway. The game just has to slow down a little bit to them, and they start to see things. Hey, I'm gonna play. I don't know. You're probably not gonna hear it, but I'm gonna play this Dennis Smith Jr. his interview from earlier today. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit of that, and then I'm gonna come back to you, Tony. All right, so I might put you on hold to make sure that no other sounds come through. All right.
No doubt. I'm listening through YouTube then.
All right, cool. All right, so let's take a listen to Dennis Smith Jr., folks.
First couple practices here. What's the spirit of the group and competitive wise?
Dennis, how you fly around like that? Can you teach me? I just try to be like RJ Barrett, man. That's the name of the game. But the energy has been great. The energy's been great. Everybody's super competitive. We locked in, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So we really got that competitive spirit going.
How's the competition between all the young point guards? 4 of you out here working against each other?
It's stacked across the board from 1 through 5. We at least 2 deep at every position, so everybody's competing, everybody banging. Like I said, our spirit's just up right now. We got to keep it going.
Do you kind of feel like that a lot of these guys that you're competing with, you can play with doing the backcourt?
Definitely. We got some high IQ guys. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we can complement each other. I mean, you put people out there who know how to play the game. I think you always get good results with that.
You see it from Alonzo so far. What do you expect from him this season, Dennis?
He's gonna make a big improvement. He still score the ball with the best of them. So, I'm looking forward to him bringing that in this year. His scoring ability, I know he is, and we're gonna pick it up on the defensive end as a team.
You were saying the other day that if it's the best Dennis Smith Jr. you can be, the Knicks will be a playoff team, or something along those lines. So, are you looking at yourself as kind of the X factor for this team, and how you play determines where you guys go?
I'm just looking at myself as being the best version of me, and doing whatever I need for the team to win, regardless of what it is. I got to do my job, and it's all about fulfilling your role. It don't matter what it is. I just got to come out and do me.
As you worked on your shot, whatever changes they were, did it start out not in a 5-on-5 setting, and then you started in the 5-on-5 setting?
It started out for probably about a month and a half. I started out in the check for maybe a week, and then just working on my mechanics, how I'm supposed to finish on my shots, and what mechanics I'm supposed to go through on each shot. Started out like that, and then it's probably about 2 months before I really got into 5-on-5. You know what I'm saying?
How has it been, just scrimmaging with these guys, I guess, before training camp, and now how has the shot felt in that setting?
I still feel good. Yeah, still feel good. I'm going to put them up. I'm going to let them fly.
Late last season, you were going through some issues with the back and everything. Is that pretty much cleared up? Did you have to do special exercises, or you
I mean, I do exercise for everything because I'm realizing how important it is. Like everything connected, you know what I'm saying? So my ankle, knee, back, shoulder, wrist, everything's connected. So I gotta really be flexible everywhere that I can.
I mean, you look lighter.
Right. Yeah, I lost weight. They told me to drop down, so I lost a lot.
How much would you say?
About 15. You know, but I was never super heavy though, you know. So just getting that off me, I feel better.
Does that feel different on the floor? 15 pounds off your frame?
I feel like it's like I'll be able to endure a long season. You know, it's not as much banging on my body, not as much weight.
Did you have to cut out of food or something?
Yeah, I had to change some of the things I ate. I'm a country boy, man, so you know we eat different down there. So
yeah, I remember you said you like Bojangles.
Yeah, I ain't eat Bojangles for most of the summer. I ain't no liar. I ain't eat Bojangles for most of the summer, so you know it helped.
Was that the biggest thing you cut out, or was there something else that was hard to cut out that you had to cut out?
I don't think it's anything in particular that I cut out. It's what I added in. I started like getting these fruit smoothies, you know, like some smoothies, spinach and kale. I could just use that for breakfast, you know, it's just lighter.
That's not as tasty as Bojangles.
Nowhere near. Nowhere near.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dennis Smith Jr. And, you know, one of the things that you notice that he said is that he's 15 pounds lighter. And, you know, I'm very interested to see how that's going to impact his play on the floor. You know, how it's going to impact his play. You know, he said now he can handle a little bit more, you know, more banging on the floor. Obviously, he said he can handle more banging. Not banging. He can handle more wear and tear on his body, right? So that he can last longer throughout the season and all that stuff. My question with him losing 15 pounds is he's going to be lighter. So he should be lighter on his knees. Hopefully better for his back. Can he handle the banging, though? Can he handle the banging? So he was about 194. So now he's about 180. Look, he looks fit. He looks good. I think maybe 180 should be good for him. You say maybe 180 should be good for him, and then he build back up with muscle. You know what I'm saying? So he can build himself back up naturally over time to being, you know, 190, 194 pounds, if that's what he chooses to be, or if that's a good playing weight for him, you know, so, but it's muscle and not fat. You know what I mean? That's a lot of weight for him to lose. So we should see him faster, leaner, jumping a little bit higher. Maybe it's going to be better for his knees and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm going to get back to my man, Tony Crow. Tony, you there? All right, so Dennis Smith Jr. lost about 15 pounds. That means right now he's about 180. What do you think about that? Oh, one second. Okay. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. I accidentally had you on mute. Go ahead.
Oh, no doubt. I hope he's still strong. That's the only thing I'm worried about. His strength. But obviously, that should make him quicker, a little lighter on his feet. Might even help with his hops, which is kind of scary. And then, you know, I think he was saying it should help him last, you know, play more closer to 82 games rather than, you know, having to sit out with injuries. So, I mean, like I said, hopefully it all works out in his benefit. He's never been fat, so 15 does seem like a lot. But hopefully he stays in the weight room, stays on the cardio, and you know it doesn't affect him in any negative type of way.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to stay in the weight room, man, because that 180 is. I feel like it could be a little bit light getting into the paint. You know what I'm saying? With him being 180. You know, if he's going to get into the paint. Now, you know, because look, I can remember coming out of high school, right? And I was 155 or something like that coming out of high school and going into college. My coach always, you know, would tell me, You need to hit the weights. You got to hit the weights. You got to get bigger. Da-da-da, da-da-da. I never hit the weights. I didn't like hitting the weights. I'd much rather do stuff that using my own body weight to develop muscle and strength. I didn't like hitting the weights. But when I got into college, it was like I get to the cup and somebody just has to come past me and the wind might blow me over. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even hit me. Or I get to the cup, I get inside, and just a small bump, I'm going flying, but I feel like I'm getting hit hard. I'm looking for a foul. I'm not getting a foul. You know what I'm saying? Because I barely got touched. So you're looking at 180 pounds. If that's what he is, and maybe he overestimated a little bit. Maybe he's only 5 or 8 pounds lighter.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I hope so. I'm looking at it like this. 180 is actually like my ideal weight. I was that weight once, and like that's where I would like to be and stay. And I'm only 5'6", 5'7". So you're talking 6'3", 180. I don't know. You know what I mean? I think he should. I don't know. I think maybe keeping the weight and just hitting the weight room might have been a little bit better for him.
Yeah. Now, but maybe this is the plan though. Maybe to build him up in the next few years where he gets back up to 190, something like that. People compare him to a Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, he's 194. Russell Westbrook, he's 200. Now Chris Paul is 175, but Chris Paul is like 6 foot.
Yeah.
Right. Now you got Steph Curry, who's 190. I mean, that's still 10 pounds heavier. He's 6'3". He's like the same size as Dennis Smith Jr. So if he actually did go down to 180, that I don't know, it could be light, man. It could be light.
Yeah, I
could be light. We'll have to see.
Real quick before I go, I just want to give a shout out to Angie. I don't know if he read my comments, but he kind of echoed exactly what I wrote in the YouTube as far as Frank Ntilikina being able to play 3 positions. I think he's going to be fine as far as getting playing time for that simple fact. Our other 2 point guards could maybe play the 1 and 2, but I wouldn't put either one of them at the 3. So I think regardless, Frank is going to have at least a good opportunity to show his worth, prove his worth. I also feel like last year he actually got a pretty good opportunity last year. I think similar like what Fizz said, injuries kind of derailed that because I think he missed close to like the last 20 to 30 games because of injury, and that that would have been a good sample size of playing time for him. And he had the opportunity early in the season to start, and a little bit in the middle of the season as well. So I don't think he was deprived of playing time due to the coach per se, like Hornacek. I think it was more injuries derailing him.
Right.
And like I said, him playing multiple positions should give him an opportunity to get somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes. And then that'll give him the opportunity to earn more time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And that's one thing that David Fizdale says, that he was happy that Frank was able to come back. His body is healthy, his mind is healthy. So he's got a clear mind, so that's good. That's good, man. All right, hey Tony, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna get here to the video chat, see what they think about Dennis Smith Jr. and his words. All right.
Shout out to the chat. Your blackest time.
But before we were talking about Dame Lillard, though. We were talking about Dame Lillard. Before I let you go, who won the battle, Dame or Shaq? Yeah. So I want to know who won the battle, Dame or Shaq?
Hands down. And actually, if you got time after the show, give me a call because I want to chop something up with you. But Dame, hands down, I don't understand how anybody can actually think Shaq won. Actually, I do understand it. It's very similar to cannabis going at LL. It's like taboo. You're not supposed to go after the vets. But in Dame's defense, he was defending himself. Shaq didn't have to make a record. and yeah, Dame hands down. I'm interested to hear what everybody else
Yeah, I
thinks.
like to hear what people got to say too. I'm looking in the video chat. D Public Enemy says Shaq. I was listening to Shaq. I don't know. I mean, he had a couple of things in there, but you know,
Fib, I got a whole breakdown for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I said. If you give me a call later, I'll chop it up with you. But I'm saving it for the front stoop. So,
okay. All right. No doubt. All right, man.
All right.
Peace. All right, I want to see what the video chat thinks on this. Mike Boyce says Shaq. Ralph Unreal says Shaq won. Mike Hawk said Dame dreaded Shaq. The Prince says Shaq. Julius Randle says Shaq. Oh my gosh, I don't know, man. I don't know if you guys are just giving it to Shaq because he's an old head. You know what I'm saying? Or if you really, because Dame's, listen, technically on the technical side of it, just straight up rapping, like Dame's, he sound tough, you know what I'm saying? Sound tough beat to it and everything. Shaq kind of was like a freestyle, freestyle in the radio studio, whatever, freestyling. I don't know if it was freestyling, but Dame's was recorded. So, all right, I feel what you guys saying there. You know what I mean? I see what you guys saying there. I'm gonna get to the video chat and see what these guys say. You know what I'm saying? Dame and Shaq, and then we'll get back to Dennis Smith Jr. All right, and I'm coming to you first because you here first, man. Real quick, man. Dame and Shaq, who won?
Dame by a mile, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. I was feeling Dame's.
When he said, "I'm a Tesla. I don't need no more gas." These.
Yeah. I was feeling Dame's. Shaq's was okay. I was feeling Dame's, but obviously Dame's was, recorded professionally in the studio, whatever. Yeah.
Shaq's was like a spoof. Like I don't take him serious. I just can't.
You gotta give it up. Shaq was the first rapper to have a platinum album, though. You know what I'm saying? And the album wasn't like it was bad. It was decent.
You know who don't get enough respect though as a basketball rapper, dude?
Who?
And I got to stand up for my guy, Shump.
Shump is all right. Shump is good, man. Shump is good. Shump is good. He ain't hooping right now, so I guess he's gonna focus on his career. I don't know.
Nah, Damian Lillard got that one, man.
Okay. All right, let me see what these other guys think. I'm gonna come out here. Guillermo, I'm gonna come to you, man. Who won?
Sim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, first and foremost, man, I didn't hear the rebuttal. I heard the first two. I heard Dame and I heard Shaq's. First of all, Shaq is a legend. He's the greatest athlete rapper. Can't Stop the Rain collaboration with Biggie's is an underrated song.
No doubt. He got some. Yeah, Shaq got some hits out there. He's got some good songs out there.
Shaq, and also Isaiah's bugging me to ask you to let him in, but yeah, Shaq, man, I only because like Shaq's song, he started going off beat like near like in the middle parts and the end.
Yeah.
And it just became funny because it's like he just kept like trying to rhyme and like it wasn't going with the beat anymore. So I gotta give it a Dame. But Dame is, I'm sorry, he got bars, but it's boring. Like Shaq has personality.
Okay, all right.
I look at hip hop, bro.
But you're still giving it to Dame.
You don't want to challenge me on hip hop,
but you're still giving it to Dame.
I give it to Dame, but I got hit a rebuttal. But Shaq, to me, he a legend, man. But the whole toy puppet video thing he did, it was like, all right, yo,
that's Shaq. That's Shaq for you. You know what I'm saying? That's Shaq. That's like something that 50 Cent does. You know what I mean?
Can't Stop the Rain. Listen to that.
Please. Yeah. Can't Stop the Rain is a dope song. It's a dope song. All right, we're going to get back to basketball. Is Mike's audio working now? Hold up.
Yo, Mike,
hey, Guillermo.
Mike is a ninja for real, son.
Is his audio working?
Right.
Mike, is his audio working?
Mike, can you answer back?
Nah, well, I can't. I have him muted right now. I'm gonna get to him and see what's up. See if I can get to him. My man Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, I got your audio. What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good.
Good. So give me your rundown. What you think about Dennis Smith Jr., man? And welcome to the chat, by the way. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thanks. I think Dennis Smith has a lot of potential in this league to be a dominant point guard. But he does have a lot of things that he needs to work on, and that's handling the ball, I feel like, because he gets kind of sporadic in the moment. So I think if he works on that, he could be a better point guard, and he could do much more for this team.
Okay. All right. I think I like that breakdown. Let me ask you a question, man. Be honest with me, too. Be honest with me. Are you supposed to be in bed? That's why you kind of whispering, talking a little bit low, because, you know, how old are you, man?
I'm 18.
Okay. All right. So you're not in school no more, or are you still in school?
No, I just started my freshman year of college.
Oh, that's what's up. All right. What school you going to?
Yeah.
What college you going to?
I'm going to University of Bridgeport.
All right, man. All right. That's what's up. Congratulations. Well, yeah. All right. So then... Yeah, so maybe you just whisper because you don't want to wake your roommate or something. All right, that's what's up, man. That's good. All right, what you studying?
I'm studying to be a doctor.
All right, that's what's up. Congratulations, man. Well, I like your breakdown of Dennis Smith Jr. And I hope you keep calling in.
Thank you.
And keep joining us on the video chat, man. We need smart young men like you to stay with us. All right, appreciate that, man. I'm gonna get around with everybody else, get everybody's take on Dennis Smith Jr. and then we can start to head off after that. OG Mark, I'm coming to you, but before I do that, I just want to say to everybody, please subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post to my community section. All right, so ring that notification bell, subscribe, like, hit that thumbs up. If you're on Sportscaster, follow me. If you're listening on Sportscaster, you haven't followed me yet, follow me. You can also check me out on Spotify. If you just want to listen to it while you're at work, can't pop in YouTube and watch the video, you can listen on Spotify. All right? Make sure you do that now, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the channel. Let me get to my man, OG Mark. I want to hear your thoughts on Dennis Smith Jr. And we're gonna start taking this thing to the house. Go ahead, OG Mark.
Cool, yeah. So Dennis Smith Jr., I'm excited to see what he can actually do. He's got tremendous talent. I know that they've been working with it on his shot and his release. And if he could learn, we were talking about this in the chat. If he could learn to be a little bit more of a facilitator first than pull up and shoot, because when you can do both, you can force the defense to play whatever game, and you could change the game. I'm going to shoot now, I'm going to pass now, but he's got to be much more of a pass first point guard to be the leader of the team.
Okay. All right. So, but do you think that is going to be in the best interest of Dennis Smith Jr.? Because are we going to be asking him to play outside of what he's capable of? Or do you think he's capable of doing that?
Hey, listen, we're about to find out.
Well, that's true. But are they even going to ask him to do that?
Well, I think as they begin playing early in the season, I think that the leadership on the team are going to force everybody at every position to try to play that position to the best it can be played. And the only way that you're going to threaten the defense is if he's passing that ball and being an orchestrator. Otherwise, he's just like another player that's not a complete player. So we have to push him that way. And with his talent, it's time. It's really time to push him to do it. He's too talented not to.
Okay. All right.
He's too talented not to. He's amazing. He might be the most athletic player in the NBA. I would rival his ability to jump, run, and his athleticism with anybody.
Okay. All right. We're gonna find out. I'm just skeptical on whether or not he is. He's able to transition to be that facilitating type of point guard. Like you said, we will find out. It's only his third year or fourth year. What's this? His fourth year? Third year in the league? whatever it is. Nate, go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, man. I think skeptical is the perfect word. I'm not buying it. I think that point guards that are shoot first mentality, it's very hard to get them to transition to becoming a willing passer. That's just in their DNA. That's just what he's been doing his whole career and his whole life, basically, is being a scoring point guard. But I like the question that you brought up to one of the callers. Can you win with a DSJ at point guard? Like I think you said get to the finals or playoffs, or what did you say?
Oh, well, win Eastern Conference Finals, finals, whatever, just win.
So here's the thing. If you look at the history, and I'm talking more about the finals and the champions that have won, they didn't have dynamic point guards. I mean, with the exception of Steph Curry and maybe Allen Iverson, I mean, most teams had average to below average point guards. But what they had in those point guards is they were smart, they were passing, they were pass savvy, or they were also a good defender. And honestly, I don't know if DSJ has any of those qualities. So, and you asked, like, you think Damian Lillard could take you to a championship? I don't think he could either. Because I think Dame's more. I love Dame. Don't get me wrong, but I just think Dame's more of a scorer. I mean, he's questionable in his passing ability too. I think he could possibly get a team to the finals, but I don't know if he could win it. Because I think I don't know. I just feel like the point guard has to do more than just score. And I think everybody's falling in love with Steph Curry and think that that's supposed to be the dynamic of every point guard, and that's not the case. Steph Curry is different from everybody else.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We're going to see with Dennis Smith Jr. This is his third year. So this is around the time that the game starts to slow down for these guys. That third year. This is when they start to slow down. So we'll see how it goes from there. Isaiah, Mr. coming to the chat, man, late. That management position, they working my man. They're working my man. They're working.
Hey, thanks, OG Mark.
What's up, man? Real quick, Dennis Smith Jr., man.
Man, I'm excited for him to be 180. I'm kind of a sucker for big guards. I like my guards to at least have I like my guards to be like 200. 200, maybe 205.
Well, it's just going to depend on their height too, though. It's got to depend on their height.
Yeah, I like my guards. I like my guards like 6'4", 6'5", like 205, 210 maybe, because I like bully ball. So I like that more. Because I think that does well. But if he's going to be like this, man, I agree with what you said earlier, man. It might be good for his knees because maybe that's a reason why he's always having knee issues or back problems, the weight he's carrying and everything, man. So excited for Dennis Smith Jr., man. I want to see, what I really want to see though, Sim, with Dennis Smith Jr., because I think I know he has the ability to be a decent or good defender. And I want to see that because I'm sick and tired of guards. I'm sorry. Who said that? No, I'm sick of hearing athletic guards not play defense. Like it's so crazy, Sim, that Russell Westbrook doesn't play good defense. That's a shame that he doesn't play great defense for the way he plays offensively. So I want to see Dennis Smith Jr. step it up.
Well, and maybe the weight loss will help him on the defensive side because he should have a little bit more endurance while he's on the floor. That's a big thing when it comes to defense, having that endurance. You know what I'm saying, and being able to continue to go and go. You also got to look at someone like Russell Westbrook. Maybe he's not the best defender and all that kind of stuff, but when you're asked to do so much for your team, sometimes you gotta, I don't know, sometimes you gotta say, all right, you know what, we got 4 defenders around you. We're gonna let you take a break because you're getting a triple-double every night. It happens like that sometimes, you know what I mean? It's gonna remain to be seen. I'm gonna get to Roz. At the Roz, man, we're gonna start doing some last words. All right, Roz. Just real quick, man. Dennis Smith Jr. lost 15 pounds. What's your outtake for him this year? What you looking at?
I think it's great. It's great that he's actually working on his body and investing on his body. That's looking great, and I'm confident about that. I also feel like, just like Nate said, is a little skeptic because when I see what he's going through his career, it reminds me of D'Lo from the Nets last year. You know, a player that was traded from the team that drafted him. And he basically proved himself the whole year. So I feel like Dennis could do the same thing, in which like he could prove the haters wrong. In which a lot of people.
Okay.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I like that. I like what you just said about with D'Lo. That trade shook him up a little bit and made him understand that he has to.
He could be replaceable. Yeah.
He could be replaceable.
He's not like Beyonce.
Yeah. I like that. Well, hey, I'm about to head up out of here, man. All right. You want to give me some last words?
Definitely. Well, shout outs to Isaiah. Shout outs to OG MacD, Guillermo. Not Nate. Nate don't like us at all. Nate haven't talked to us all day. But I just want everybody in the chat, give us some likes, man. There's 300 people, 400 people, and we only got 79 likes. So y'all just staring, y'all talking about Isaiah's scarf. Give us some likes, man, because this man's doing some good work. Go Knicks, Knicks family. I love y'all like always, and I'm out.
I appreciate you, brother.
Give some likes.
Appreciate you. Yeah, definitely, man. Like and subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe. And I am going to be on midday tomorrow, too, as we start to get some training camp updates. I'm going to jump on midday. Guillermo, some last words? I think you got yourself muted. I can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yep,
My bad.
there we go. Yep, I can hear you.
Salute to everybody, man. This chat was fun tonight, man. It was good hearing everybody's perspective, man. Again, all the stuff is talk, but like I said, man, we got some beasts on this team. And real quick on DSJ, he just got to improve his facilitation, his mental, and his shooting, man. Same thing with Trier. These guys have to have better perspective when it comes to the game of basketball. And you said one thing, and that is my last thing I'll say. You said one thing real quick, that you said, are these guys up for the challenge? To me, man, if you're that young and you can't take someone trying to adjust your game to make you better, to challenge you, you probably shouldn't be in the league. Like, I don't know where these kids are nowadays, but to me, all my greatest players, the guys I thought were the greats, when you gave them a challenge in front of their face, they overcame, and that's what made them great. You're not great because someone says you're great. You're great because of the stuff you put on the floor. So to me, man, if you want to be great, you got to change your game. You got to adapt. Now that's only going to make you stronger. So salute to you, man. Good chat. Now I'll be here. Well, I probably won't be here, but I'll be in the regular chat
the YouTube chat
tomorrow.
Okay. All right, man. All right.
See you, bro.
Peace. OG Mark, give us some last words.
Well, I'm excited about this. The preseason is here, and then right around the corner, we have our season starting. I think that, with all the young talent and the veterans that we brought in, I think that we do have a real shot with a little bit of luck and the wind at our back. I think that we could pull this thing out and jump into the playoffs. So, but either way, I'm excited. All I want to do is see my beautiful New York Knicks fight. I just don't want to see them laying down. I just want to see them, and I don't mean like starting fist fights. But
no, I feel you.
I mean, just a toughness about them, Sim. I don't want them to be like people, going to New York like it's a walk in the park anymore. I'm sick of that. I'm tired of the reporters. I'm tired of what's his name on ESPN, Max. I can't stand him.
Max Kellerman.
Oh, yeah, that's him, Sim. I can't stand it. I just want our guys to fight. Just fight, man.
I feel you.
Get out there and play.
And I like the bucket hat too, my man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like
it's a tribute to you, my man.
There you go. Appreciate that. I like
it's
the bucket.
Tribute. Okay,
all right.
Cool.
And let me see who we got next here. Who we got here? Nate the Great.
Hey,
last
man,
words,
up?
brother. Last words.
Man, it's hate on Nate day or something, or hate on Nate night. It's all good. One thing we didn't talk about, but I know we probably talked about in the other shows. I love in the press conference when the reporter asked the question, are you trying to bring back the old Knick mentality? And that's tough-nosed defense, gritty, defensive minded, and basically they all said yes in a sense. I love that, because if you look at the Knicks' success, when we had those tough-minded guys and that tough-minded mentality, that's when the Knicks were good. That's when it was fun to watch Knicks basketball. And I love, like I told you before, these players that they brought in, especially Morris. They brought in tough-minded dudes that are battle-tested, playoff-tested, and are going to make this team stronger, especially the young guys.
Yeah.
So I just love that, man, because like I tell you, man, my best memories of the Knicks were the 90s.
Yep.
When Charlie Ward, Allen Houston, Kurt Thomas, Marcus Camby, all those rugged-nosed glue guys came in, and Knicks just played great defense and they weren't a pushover.
Yeah.
That's what I want the Knicks to come back to.
Hopefully,
is to be
man.
that kind of team.
All right. Hopefully they do. I appreciate it, Nate.
All right, man.
And
See you later.
catch you later. And Isaiah is the one person that doesn't want the Knicks to think about the 90s. You know what I'm saying? If you guys remember that whole big conversation we had, he don't want the Knicks to think about the 90s because the Knicks didn't win a championship in the 90s. So Isaiah don't want the Knicks to be like they were in the 90s. He's tired of hearing people talk about the 90s. He's tired of hearing people talk about the Knicks playing with that type of intensity, playing that type of basketball game.
I'm the bad guy now.
Right? I'm just saying what you said. I'm just saying what you said. That's
Mr.
all.
Mr. Russell, you're trying to put this as me saying that I didn't want the Knicks to play that kind. Listen, what I said
is that not what you said? Is that not what you said?
Mr. Russell,
go ahead.
We can go back to the video because we can go back to the video and we can see what I was trying to say was that I'm just tired of talking about the 90s Knicks, and let's just try to shape the Knicks into we can shape the Knicks into something new, so that we always don't have to go back to the 90s Knicks. And so I asked
you, what is that, and you didn't say nothing.
Anyways, listen, I've been preaching defense, man. I said it the other day that I want the Knicks to be a defensive team. I want that to be first before anything else. We can put the ball through the hoop. That's easy. We can put the ball through the hoop. We got enough players that can do that. I want it to be a defensive-minded team. And with that saying, it would be a shame if Coach Fizdale does not play Frank and what's name together.
Who is what's name?
After seeing
I don't know who what's
Frank
name
and
is.
Mitch together, after seeing what him and Rudy Gobert did defensively.
Well, okay, yeah.
You got to listen. I don't care what anybody says. You can be a Frank hater all you want. When Frank and Rudy Gobert during that FIBA tournament, those two were like a defensive twin monster on the perimeter and the paint.
All right.
And everybody would be ashamed if they didn't want to see that.
Okay.
If you want to preach defense.
Okay. You know what though? I think that new job make you smarter. Ever since you got that new job, you've been having better takes. You know what I'm saying? You've been having better takes and everything. Or you got somebody writing it down saying, Isaiah, say this when you get on there. One of the two.
It could be the wifey, it could be the job. I'm not gonna let y'all know.
Well, something made you smarter. I don't know what it is. Something made you smarter. But whatever it is, big up to that.
Yo, man, you funny, man. But real talk though, man. Shout out to you, Sim. Shout out to my boy Raj. Shout out to OG Mark. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Guillermo. Shout out to my boy NG. You do an amazing job. You know how this is, man. I'm glad, man. The views is coming back up. Like my man Ross said, like listen to people coming back up, man. We getting the 400-500 again. People were leaving during the summer, but it's okay. I'm gonna take that because y'all on vacation. But we back now.
The season's back. We back in the building,
man. Hey man, I cannot wait to see everybody that's gonna be at the game. Can't wait, man. I'm excited.
No doubt.
It's less than a month away, man. Less than a month away.
Less than a month. It was 3 weeks away, man. We ready. All right, man.
Sim, can I say one more thing?
All right, make it quick.
Shout out to the Connecticut Suns but they're gonna take the WNBA finals.
Okay.
Shout out to the Connecticut Suns. Shout out to Bria Holmes, Connecticut homegrown, on the Connecticut Suns. We winning the championship, baby. Yes, Connecticut right there.
All right,
we
man.
gonna win the WNBA finals, man.
All right, man. They might. All right, no doubt. I'll catch you later, man. I will catch you later. All right, I'll catch you later, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for being on with me. All right, and tomorrow, probably sometime throughout the day, I'm thinking 2, 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. We'll see whatever comes out with the Knicks, and I'll give you an update. We'll do a show for about an hour or something like that, and we'll get an update on everything that went on with the Knicks in training camp on day 3. All right, tomorrow's day 3 of training camp. Friday is day 4. We'll see what happens over the weekend. I'm not sure of the schedule. Then, of course, Monday, it's the first preseason game, and I will be at that preseason game. We'll see what everything is like. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to stream a little bit from the preseason game. If not, we'll figure it out. But I appreciate you guys for being on with me. Like I said and have been saying, make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right? Ring that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I go live. Drop a video. Post in my community section or whatever it is. All right? If you're on Sportscaster, follow me on Sportscaster. Follow me on Spotify. Go on Spotify. Just search Nothing But Knicks. Follow me there. All right? Because this will be up on Spotify by tomorrow morning. So that way you can listen to it on your drive to work if you didn't get to catch everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch y'all later. Peace to you. I appreciate you, and I'm out. Wait a minute. Now I'm out. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good one. Enjoy your work day tomorrow.